Hello and welcome to In the Court of the Wenton King. We've finally decided to do it. Finally, after 128 episodes, something like that, plus all the others. We're doing Rush. It's Rush we're doing. Yes, it is. We're doing 2012. Yeah, I mean, legend has the impression I got was over the years, the legend is that before this album they played more straightforward music and then they defied the record company and went prog at the sort of tipping point moment of not being able to have any more albums, and were hugely successful, which is partially true, but really the change happened with the first album actually. The first album is hard rock and everything after that is proggy actually, so they're already done 2 proggy albums at this point, but the record company did ask them, please make some shorter, simpler stuff, and they were like, no, we will fight you forever, and kind of it's in some of their lyrics as well, is about, fighting the record company and the freedom. So they did a whole 4 more years without selling out. Impressive. So they did in the end, actually. There you go. But yeah, this album, you've got your side long epic and some songs. Everyone talks about the side long epic. I think it's great. Particularly the main theme is really strong, probably their strongest theme, very much dependent on his voice, which is fantastic, we'll talk about in a bit. And obviously, it feels a bit bitty when you first hear it. I think if you read about what it's about and things like that, it does actually help with the music, I think. And I think the lyrics are quite good in the sense that they don't impinge on the music though. So that's pretty good. And very unproggy, really. Now the thing is, this is an album though. This isn't a concept album at all. This is a side long epic and some songs. And I have to say, the second side doesn't stand up to the first side at all. I think the first 2 songs on there are great, and then after that it's kind of... So that's interesting, but obviously it's the famous one, 2012. Whether it's the one you should get first, I'm not entirely sure about that actually.
I mean, chances are if you buy this one first and then you buy another one, you probably won't buy any more after that.
Because you've heard it.
Yeah.
You've heard them now.
Yeah, I mean, Canadian prog. Canadian prog?
Yeah, Canadian prog.
Yeah, I mean, that feels a little bit wrong straight off the bat. Obviously it's not.
Well, we're in post-prog. We're in post-prog territory.
Actually, yeah, 1976, it's sort of...
These are the first bands to be influenced by those bands. Even though those original bands were all different.
I love although it's not a concept album, the first side has this weird storyline that, quite frankly, L. Ron Hubbard would be proud of.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, how do you approach this album? Sort of, it's a sort of cross between the Hawkwind sci-fi in us and the sort of, I don't know, you could say Floydy, but it's not really that Floydy in the sense that...
No, it's very dynamic.
Yeah, maybe more Genesis-y, I don't know.
I mean, people tend to call them Yes meets Zepp.
Yeah, Yes was the next one that was...
Yeah, and there's a lot of Yes in there, partially because of his voice. But his voice is... I mean, it's easy to underestimate how good John Anderson's voice is actually. In that he has a serious, which got better over the years, but obviously it's very soft and nice, and the niceness, people don't necessarily relate to. But this has the force of early Robert Plant as well. And that's a lot of it. It's not like with, Dream Theater are literally Metallica meets Yes. It's not as literal as that. But it's an easy way to describe their music.
There were points where I thought, is this John Anderson? Because it sounds exactly like it, but then I'm thinking, no, this is good. It can't be John Anderson.
Because he's got a rock and roll sensibility that John Anderson doesn't have.
He's actually singing songs. Yeah, it's good stuff, isn't it? I agree with you, the second side doesn't really stack up, and it's really all about that first side.
Yeah.
Epicness of it and the rockiness of it is fantastic.
And that's the thing, they are metal.
Yeah.
It is a metal band, they are prog metal. So in a way, they probably invented prog metal. And it's interesting with the guitar, how that's kind of, it's thrashy, and it's actually not jangly, but rhythmic. It's rhythm playing, it's lots of strings, it's not power chords like metal. And that really, I mean, I hear The Who in that, interestingly, so that's coming from a different place, but very much riffy and intense. And it's the power trio thing as well. There's only 3 of them, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Although apparently on some songs, at least the Twilight Zone, I think that when Alex Lifeson plays a guitar solo, Geddy Lee switches to rhythm guitar because he's got twin neck and does the pedals, bass pedals, like Jumble Jones. So there's a bit of that going on to keep the the energy up,
Yeah,
which is very much a metal thing.
They're very good. I mean, I never really considered them to be uber sort of musicians, but even the drumming,
Yeah.
Neil Peart is brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, and Neil Peart invented Mike Portnoy, really. It's his fault. And the band invented Dream Theater, really, as well. So it is their fault. But yeah, what's really interesting, obviously, is that the Suits told them, right, you've got to make some shorter songs now. Because otherwise you're not going to renew your record contract. Fourth album. So it's actually the difficult fourth album. And they're like, oh no, you won't, fight on. And it was really successful. It was a huge hit. So if they'd gone along with that, then the Suits would have been vindicated and said, you see, which is exactly what happened to Kansas. Which is a real shame, because I really like Kansas, but they just went too poppy. The early Kansas stuff is excellent. Yeah, 2112 is the sidelong epic. Well, there's some cool bits in there. Like I said, the main theme of it is great. It's a great melody. It's probably their best. That bit is their best thing. There's a bit of acoustic faffing with Discovery, and you could interpret that as being a bit wishy-washy and kind of faffing around. And you can hear an influence of And You and I, but also the middle bits of Take a Pebble, where it goes off into folkiness and kind of almost doesn't fit. But it's actually the protagonist of the story. He's faffing around. He's found a guitar and he's playing. He's learning to play, so it sort of slowly gets going. And if you in that context, it's ace. The other bit I really like is we have regained control. We have regained something like that, or we have control, and it doesn't have a happy ending. Actually, it's like, oh no.
I mean, my big question when I was listening to it was sort of where does this fit in for a progster? Like, where do you start? When do you start listening to Rush? Because it's interesting that I've never really gone for the Rush thing. It's sort of it should be quite an obvious thing to go down and sort of
exactly
investigate, and I can't quite figure out what it is about it that sort of
feels a bit bland.
Yeah.
There's something that I wonder if you're supposed to discover Rush first, then discover all proggy stuff.
Yeah.
And because we've gone there first, it's all brilliant, but there's something not wonderful.
I almost wonder if it's a Neo-Prog thing, sort of, because it's very easy to identify Neo-Prog.
Yeah.
Because it's very bland and you know exactly what you're going to get, and I wonder, because this is post-prog almost, it's like
this defines that style.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a sort of, there's something in there that identifies it with Neo-Prog. It's not as bad as modern Neo-Prog.
Oh, definitely, it's better than all those bands.
Yeah, but there's something in there that sort of, there's a negative connotation because it's.
Perhaps that's what it is.
Yeah.
We heard it too late.
Yeah, I mean at the time maybe it would have been.
Because this defines that. Yeah. But on its own, standing on its own, it is excellent, and it's difficult to determine what that is. Yeah, 2112, it has significance. It's a balancing number if you're into numerology nonsense.
Palindromic number as well.
Yeah, which is cool, obviously. When I went to see Yes in 2003, they'd been doing a tour. This was the big tour back with Rick Wakeman and everything, and they'd done a big tour of America 2002. So it was the two was flipped round, so it was social. But I saw them in 2003, so they just put a 3 there instead. So, just didn't write at all. It's typical Yes, that is. Just doesn't matter. But yeah, because of course it's actually Neil Peart is the lyricist, and he's big on Ayn Rand, interestingly. And he says while he was writing it, he realised the parallels with Ayn Rand's book. Yeah, of course he did. So obviously, there's another song on the second album called Anthem, which is about the same book, I think. So that's interesting. About libertarianiness, freedom, and the system is squashing us down.
Ayn Rand isn't she like the basis of all neoliberal, right-wing thinking? Yes, but
and it's the people say they only read the first page, kind of stuff. She's a proper libertarian and objectivism and all that stuff. And obviously, you apply that to the music and you apply that to their situation. It's about fighting the record company, and that was the theme they were back to. Although of course they did technically sell out in the 80s about the system and the pop songs. There's a line: "We take care of everything, the words you read and the songs you sing." I prefer that interpretation than anything else, really. And it's the easiest way to read into it, really. The symbol, which became the Rush symbol from the fans, apparently. They just picked up on it. And it's their theme of having nude people on their album covers. Thanks for that. Thanks, Rush. We didn't need that. before yesterday. Actually, this is before that. So that's interesting. But the man is the individual, and the star is society or the collective or whatever, fighting against it, etc. We should address the pretentious question again. I think, and are the lyrics pretentious? I don't think they are. I think they're just good.
Well, if you're basing the story of the song around a future intergalactic war, I don't think you can be pretentious.
No,
can you?
because it's just it's sci-fi, isn't it? Of course, the last song is called Something for Nothing. You can't have something for nothing, kids. Is that a good thing to sing to the kids? Probably is. I don't know. But yeah, second side, like we said, is a lot lighter. You've got Passage to Bangkok, which I really like. It's a good riff. It's intentionally lighter, so it's a cool riff. Song about drugs, and then I also like the Twilight Zone because it's actually about the TV show The Twilight Zone. So I concur. I think that's a good concept to take. More of that, please. Yes. But the last three songs are pretty meh, including Something for Nothing. But I mean, the Lessons is Ramble On. It's just a variation of Ramble On, and actually, it's in the middle of. It's actually Discovery on 212 is much the same as well. So it feels like they didn't have a lot of ideas, or maybe they put all their effort into the sidelong epic because that's what they wanted to do, kind of thing.
Yeah, that feels right, doesn't it?
So yeah, so in terms of it being their definitive album, I don't think it is. I think they did much more consistent albums at least. Although 212 is awesome. I for that reason I think it's 4 eggs. I think that the 212 the song is 5 going on 6 eggs, but the album as a whole is 4 eggs. Because it's an album, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very difficult. I mean, obviously when Rush fans sort of identify this as definitive Rush, they're actually talking about the song 2112.
Yeah.
They're not really thinking about all the other stuff, although they may be, but I kind of doubt it. So should you just judge it on 2112? You can't, can you?
No, that's the thing. It's an album, isn't it? And it feels like odds and ends, and there's some good odds and ends, and there's some okay odds and ends, and there's nothing bad at all, but
a bit of meh. Yeah, okay, I'll agree with you. 4 eggs.
There you go, 4 eggs. We will see you next week for another album, and it will be, I think it's A Farewell to Kings. If it's not, it's fine. I'll check on Wikipedia. It's that or Hemispheres, but I think it's Farewell to Kings next.
Right.
See you then.